Here's the kicker, John Parker Romo, now to get us started. And we are underway in Foxborough. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
Rodgers going to come out throwing, and his first pass is incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
And he will have a Steelers first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Rodgers going to throw. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 42. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Rodgers now to throw. Open man there is Darnell Washington. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target, and he didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
And he'll get it right back to Washington. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
A handoff for Warren. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Running left, it's Warren. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Warren will try the right side. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. On the give, it's Warren. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Never ideal conditions in the snow for a kicker, but the first test on the opening drive, he passed it.
He certainly did. You know what the unit told me was their biggest issue playing in the snow? You just worry about something getting in your eye as the ball is snapped, and then you might miss it, and there goes 3 points off the board.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. They'll be led out by the former Tar Heel, their rookie quarterback from UNC.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
They go play action now. Maye. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Maye. And that is incomplete here.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Maye. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
So on 4th down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. Deep to return is Calvin Austin. Pulled in at the 24. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. Man open downfield. It's Metcalf. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively. You could almost see him going through the coaching points. Adjust, find the football, knock it away. Well executed.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On the run, it's Warren. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
And he will have a Steelers first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Open man, right side is his running back. It's complete downfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
This one was all about clearing space for this play to work because he's got to leak out of the backfield to his right and then angle his way up the field. And a really pretty throw to put it on him and create the big play downfield.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Now a run with Warren. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Robert Spillane, the linebacker, there on the tackle.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Warren. And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Here's Rodgers to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. DK Metcalf from 8 yards out. And the Steelers are able to stretch out their lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. A carry by Henderson to start the drive. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Throwing here is Maye. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Maye. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a 1st down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Maye. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Douglas. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Maye Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
This is 2nd and 8. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. Picked up by Christian Gonzalez. And the Patriots are going to have it here at their own 15. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead 1st quarter, but their first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out.
The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting 1st downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case,
The defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They run once more with Henderson. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Here is 3rd and 5. To the air, Maye. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Alex Highsmith coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. $10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now Austin. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Milton Williams there on the tackle.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
In motion right, that's Metcalf. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And back deep for New England is Marcus Jones. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. New England trying to get a place on offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
The tight end Henry here in motion. So a penalty that can frustrate a coach so much, a mental error, and it'll back him up 5 yards.
Still 2nd down.
Again, it's Henderson. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
That is caught, and he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He finds Douglas complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's second down. They're going to look to throw. Short pass caught by Henry, and he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Patriots first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
Pretty heavy traffic over the middle on that one, and somehow he emerged with the football. Way to possess it despite all the extra contact and people around him.
Off the play fake, here's Maye. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Brandon, how about that reaction there from a defensive end? Able to recognize the screen pass trying to happen. Broke off his pass rush, and then get back to tackle the running back. That's a very athletic and intelligent play. Reminds me of you working out and seeing that the treadmill's open and getting there before anyone else.
See, I know you're just patronizing me right now. Everybody knows at home that is nothing but a shot at me, and I'll take it, absorb it, and we'll move on. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
That's a great run right there on 1st down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Stevenson is into the end zone. Touchdown, New England. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was polished off by a Ramondre Stevenson touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
A first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick. Make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down. Rodgers going to throw. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Christian Gonzalez in there to break that one up.
But whatever they called on defense, they made sure they were ready for the pass on that snap, made the proper adjustments, and helped force an incompletion.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Patriots take over. New England's offense set to go. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
10 yards there to start the drive and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 5. Again, it's Henderson. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Maye. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
On 3rd down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And now as he gets to the first down marker, he blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Douglas, the man in motion. They'll throw with Maye. Pass incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Maye. Finding Bourne here over the middle. And he'll get 2 or 3 out of that one, as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a 1st down.
And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the Patriots are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
To throw, it's Maye. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Kendrick Bourne from 6 yards away. And the Patriots will take the lead here in the final minute of the 1st half. That pass also evens the ledger for the rookie quarterback. Had the interception earlier, and now he gets the touchdown throw.
The ideal touchdown-interception ratio is what, 3-to-1 for the best quarterbacks? But he's a rookie. Just getting back to even is a big deal. Increases the confidence his teammates have in him as he tries to become their leader.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Steelers taking over now late in this 1st half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the 1st half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. A final shot before half for Rodgers. Got his man, it's Warren. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We just watched a fine first half out of this quarterback. That's Drake Maye. He was on point, throwing a touchdown pass to help his guys take the lead into the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And this one too low.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Here's Maye. Complete. It's Henry. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Henderson will try and run for the first. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Here's Austin. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Here's Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jalen Warren. 75 yards. And the Steelers have retaken a third-quarter lead. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 17-14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So the Patriots coming out now. The last series form a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll run with Henderson here to begin the drive. Up past the 30, 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. Out of the gun, they give to Henderson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 54 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Throwing here is Maye. That's taken in by Henderson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Maye. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Cole Holcomb proving too much there for the offensive line. He gets the sack. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Short pass caught by Henry. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Steelers offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field.
Still first down.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. They'll run it. Warren. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Rodgers now to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and that'll bring up 2nd down. A handoff for Warren. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. They'll run on 1st down. It's Warren, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
2 yards left on 2nd down from the 9. Running left, it's Warren. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. On play action, now Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
And the question now, can the Patriot defense hold firm again on 3rd and goal? Now it's Rodgers. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Christian Gonzalez. And the Pats are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So a big chance goes by the wayside there. A tough break on 3rd and goal.
Yeah, as a general rule, you know you're usually not going to win games with field goals. But in this case, they had 3 points in their pocket. I get what he was trying to do, but that's a big swing of momentum right there.
New England trying to get a place on offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Douglas, the man in motion. From the shotgun, Maye with it. He finds his man, complete. That's Douglas. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. To the air, Maye. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. They call it a loss of a yard there. And it'll be 4th down. And not what you're looking to do on 3rd and 1, completing the pass, but going backward.
I have zero explanation for that because 3rd and 1, you just figure snap, throw, 1st down, right? Easy play. But end up losing yardage on it. That's hard to account for.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is fielded at the 27. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly. But here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they'd better take advantage of it because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Here's Rodgers to throw. A short one there to Freiermuth. And Freiermuth going to have a Steelers 1st down as he'll get this up to the 43. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
That's to the veteran. It's Robert Woods. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
This is all about finding the open space in the middle of the field. How do you do that? One way is through play action. That's going to freeze those linebackers for just a split second, and sometimes that's all you need. They run a deep in route behind them, and it works to perfection.
In motion right, that's Metcalf. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. On the give, it's Warren. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 76 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. And in for the Steelers touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Steelers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Boswell for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's Patriot football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd down and 12. They're going to look to throw. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. It's taken to the 26. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now. So if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
On the run, it's Warren. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out first downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
Now a run with Warren. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want. And other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
Here's Warren. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Here comes third down at 7. Throwing now is Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he's got this all the way down to the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
The line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now Rodgers. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Flush to his right. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Aaron Rodgers. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. New England's offense set to go. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They'll throw with Maye. And Diggs has it. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Back to throw here. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. From the shotgun, it's Maye. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
To throw, it's Maye. It's complete to Diggs. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Two yards to go, second down. Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point. But being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. On first down, Warren. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Up the middle they go. It's Warren. And he's going to be met at about the 43. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Warren. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 108 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
On 3rd down, Warren. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion. And under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Robert Spillane leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To throw, it's Rodgers. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Up the middle they go. It's Warren, and he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Boswell's kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. Well, trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. But down here near the goal line, you don't think of a cornerback in run coverage, but he made the stop.
Yeah, most of the cornerbacks we know, they want to be those pass defenders and take away one half of the field. But the best ones in the game are the complete cornerbacks, able to tackle and run support, as we just saw there.
And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. From the 5, 3rd and goal. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, You never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Patriots offense and Drake Maye headed back onto the field. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Here's 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Maye. A quick throw there is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Here's Maye. And that one to the right side and incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing here is Maye. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That is incomplete.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 000. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Maye.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
4th down. Here's Maye. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. Just all around a solid performance, and now they've got the 3-score lead here, Charles, the final seconds of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, in this one, they've been in control, haven't they? They've earned this victory. No question who the better team was out there in this game. And frankly, the score could have been a lot worse than it was. Give them a lot of credit for how they played in this one.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Foxborough, good night, everybody.